everybody. Let me get it together here. I'm leaving my job, my designated plantation, in which I affectionately call Candyland. And as I work my job today, my company is going through a few transitions. My department is reportedly closing, and for some reason, even in the saying that my department is closing, we still are having new trainees come in, new people to come in to train, and I don't understand the fact that if our department is closing, why will we have to continue to train people to do the job that we do when we know that allegedly, purportedly, the job we do is supposed to be ending. But that's just part of what I'm saying here, right? That's part of what I'm saying, but it's not really important to what I'm saying, man. Now I could easily, and I really can't put this on the young man, the young male, or the old male, because I actually see examples of this occurring in both. I've said on my previous broadcast lives and things on this channel, the Nod Room, please like, subscribe, and share to this content. Please click the subscribe button if you're new to this channel. I've said on this channel before that I spoke pretty much. It's on the video about my grandfather's disapproval. Whereas my grandfather is a man of old stock, of the old stock. He's probably maybe one or two generations removed from actual chattel slavery in America. He Alabama man. He came from Alabama. He had to, when he was in 6th grade, he had to drop out to 6th grade to take care of his mama and his sisters. My great grandma and my great aunt, my grand aunts or whatever. So he has a good work character. When it comes, he has a strong work ethic. That's the word. That's what I'm looking for. A strong work ethic. And when I used to go over to visit my grandparents, whether it be for the summertime or, just for the weekend or what have you, we had to work. It was fun because Granny, they gave us a lot of little allowance, pieces of change. We had all the goodies and all the other little accoutrements that, that we may have not been able to enjoy at home. But even in all of that, there wasn't no sleeping to 9 and 10 o'clock. We had to get up because one of my grandfather's sayings was, and I'm sure that he didn't invent it, but early to bed, early to rise, make a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. So, I say all this to say that I come from folks that know how to work. I'm a man that was trained about the importance of work and how to work hard. And in my learning of those things, I'm able to identify those who do not work hard and do not have a strong work ethic. Now, the job I work on, it's have whites and blacks and Indians, and I don't see too many Asians, and the Mexican, Hispanic people, they there too. But I would mostly work with blacks and Hispanics. Now, these past couple of temps that we've had in, they've been brothers, and it was I'll say 3 out of 3. Out of the 3, that was there. One I said it had potential. One I could see probably had potential, but due to the fact that he was working with one of my coworkers, who is not necessarily who has a not so great work ethic, who is also seemingly, as my title says, unambitious. Maybe he had some ambitions elsewhere, but not necessarily on the job. But the one guy out of the three that I thought had potential, he had a bad trainer in my mind. You can't be working with folks and then it's like it's just your first time on the job, and you seeing them half-ass. So in your mind, it's gonna make you want to half-ass too. And that's what was happening. My guy, he got discouraged. With not necessarily doing something, just basically trying to find an easy way out. But to get to where I'm going, okay, I really am having a problem with what I see. And I mean, it's more, if it was less, I can understand there's an acceptable portion of the sample that might not be up to snuff. But this, it's become a disproportionate amount of black males and black men in which I presume, and I visualize as being lazy and unambitious, and a lot of time, and out of the two out of the three, the one I said had potential was Slim, but the other two, one is 18, 19, and he's heavy set. And one is considerably closer to my age, with gray hairs and stuff, but he's fat, and you know how you had a big man. He's a big man. He's about 6'2", and I figure he weighs about I'd be generous to say about 260, 270. That guy who walk like his foot hurt. Like he lumber around like his foot hurt. He moves slowly. And I mean, maybe he did have some type of injury, but that might have attributed to his limping. But I say this to say, the lady that's training him, she asked him, she found out that his last job was as a dispatcher. Now, I know that, I guess in my mind, when I think of dispatcher, I think of someone who sits and I think of someone who sits around and dispatches. So it's like, well, on my job, we do have stools and stuff where we can sit, and this is relatively new now. We didn't used to have the opportunity, or we used to have to stand on our feet for 12 hours. You might get away with a lean or whatever, blah blah blah. But now we have the benefit of stools and seats. Now this is it's Wednesday. On Monday, the big man, he came and he worked and he left early. And I guess he worked to the best of his ability. If by working, that means you watching your trainer standing around idly by. I guess you pay attention. Maybe you paying attention. Maybe you're not paying attention. But I don't know. But in my mind, it's like, well, even if you're standing there, even if you're standing there and you watching the trainer's doing the packing, it seemed like you would be more enthusiastic to get your hands dirty with it too. If you standing there like maybe 5 or 10 minutes, you're gonna be at least show your ambition or your initiative to reach over and say, move out there. Let me try it out, trainer. But no, that's not the case with this brother. This brother, okay, he's out of shape. And I'm not even gonna talk about the young man. The young man, it's a certain amount of as 18, 19-year-old. Okay, I can understand you, young man. We're not supposed to have our phones on the production floor. You walking around the production floor like you in the break room, hold your phone up and shit. Okay, that's all in the youth, and that's also part of the training that he was getting. The trainer that he had, those folks who, the fact that our department is closing has some of my coworkers a bit lax in regards to following the rules and doing things that we normally would do when we thought our department was open. But let's get back to the big man. Big man, he once he get in there, and start packing or whatever, he might pack for a little while, but then, he starts sweating. And he starts sweating on the bags, you know what I'm saying? So, and these bags are for, I produce, well, in my production, we produce bags, which, like say, for example, shake mix, like the Chick-fil-A, where they pour the shake mix in there, or the pop syrup for the syrup or whatever. And these are like food service bags. And I mean, it ain't like he could drip his sweat inside of the bag. But just on the fact that you standing in there dripping sweat or whatever, that's enough. That's enough in itself. So, okay. So she says, "Oh, go wipe your face." You go away to wipe your face, but you go on for 10. I say 10 minutes. You go on for 10 minutes. How long do it take you to get a paper towel to come back and wipe your face and get back to work? And I say today, it was the first day for this Hispanic guy, this the Mexican whomever. And I hate this for us. And I hate to say this, because I never would ever admit that any other race works harder than the nigger folk. And maybe the African American folk, maybe they might work a little harder than the African American, but I would never admit that any other race works harder than the nigger folk. Because the nigger folks are the foundational element that built the economic power that is America. So this Hispanic guy, he comes in, man, and he picks up on like the shit like that, man. He don't, the person that's training him, she showed him the process. This motherfucker packing like he been packing it, putting the produced bags in the box or the container, whatever, like it's nothing. Meanwhile, you got big man, he got to have a chair. Like I said in the beginning, we used to have to work 12-hour shifts where we stood on our feet all day long. And, to be able to, the lean was a privilege, because in a situation where you have production, you have a overbearing lead or a shift coordinator or head department head, they're looking for numbers. And in the process of looking for numbers, it's speed and accuracy. You got to check for defects and quality issues and things like that. So me working at this company for a few years, I do that. I'm proficient. But the fact that this man today, like I said, the big old guy, he came in Monday, he left early. He came in he didn't come in at all yesterday. Now mind you, Monday was my guy's first day. He didn't come in at all yesterday. Then he comes in today, a tad bit late. And what is the first thing that this gentleman doesn't do is go over to his trainer and look to see how she does the paperwork, because we have to do paperwork to make accounting for each parcel that we produce. He doesn't go over and look at the paperwork. No, he doesn't go over and try to grab the bags and try to begin to put them in the box. What the first thing this gentleman does is grab a stool to sit his fat ass down on. I don't like this about us, man. And this, I'm talking about one in particular, man. But this is during my course of working for not only for this company, but just in general, to see young and old men come in and they black men, and to fill in the stereotype that ne'er do well, lazy and shiftless, trying to get over niggas, man. And I loosely say nigga to you, African American black folks, and it's just sad to me, man. And I say, man, why is it that the poor African American black male, how is it that you become so lazy and unambitious and lacking of initiative, just no desire to outshine your competitors in a work shape form of fashion, and all things considered, if it wasn't for the work of our ancestors, that this country, this economic superpower called America, would not even exist if not for the hard work and the unpaid labor. The unpaid labor done under duress, underneath the harshest of conditions. Now, a lot of us don't even want to go outside, stand in the sun. It's over 100 in Chicago, and I mean Chicago's not a southern state, so I guess that's, it's hazardous to be this hot up here for some of these folks. But I spend most of my lifetime in the southern region. And I say that I speak on the heat is because, even working out in the field as a painter, I worked outside. I used to work in 90 plus degree heat or whatever, but I had my water, I had my sweat bag rag, and I had the ambition to go and do the work. But then you hear these guys, they talk about it, hustler. They want to live the fantasized life of being a baller, and it's pushing the fine whips and getting the jewelry and having the hoes or whatever in the fancy clothes. But somehow I guess they think that you're not supposed to work for that, and I think that's part of the regards to the young males. And I hate to keep on. I hate to be one of those guys who always throw it to the fact that the father is absent from the household. But when in situations where it's the mother there, the mother has a tendency to coddle the young man, and be like, well, if you don't want to do it, baby, you ain't got to do it. They can't make you do it. So now it's like, well, if you get these grown adults and you say, well, this is part of the job. This is something that you must do. You get the sucking of the teeth and the eye looks on the face. The way I was trained to be a hard worker was through much, through punishment. I don't know if it's punishment, but you got to go. It's a trial and error. It's to get good at things. No pain, no gain. Put it like that. No pain, no gain. You may not want to do it, but you ain't gonna be able to do nothing damn else until you get it done. So I'm gonna get off here, man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go too far. I just really needed something to talk about, as if I'm trying to build up my algorithm and build up the following of my page and the hours and the required subscriptions that I need. I need 1,000. I need 1,000 subs. So please like, share, and subscribe to the Nigger Room, the Niger Room, the Ninja Room, if you like this content. But I don't know, ladies, mamas, please. It is not helpful for you to make it easy for your son in this world. Even if you do have the wherewithal the where you don't have to work and you can take care of him, you need to give him some form of activity that will teach him discipline and that will give him the desire and the initiative to work hard and try to attain some type of goal. But with all that being said, I shall leave this chat now. I shall leave. And once again, I say, please like and share and subscribe to the Niger Room if you like this content. Even if you don't like this content, subscribe to this motherfucker. Help a nigga out, man. I got my designated plantation, which I refer to finally as Candyland. But I like residual income also. I like to be able to feel like as if while I'm sleeping, someone might be viewing my YouTube videos and building my watch hours up, or somebody might be subscribing and clicking like on it, and that way it'll push me forward to monetization. Nevertheless, man, peace and love. Y'all have a great evening.